My beloved child, take a breath and read this letter slowly. Let the noise around you become quiet, and let the noise inside you become quiet too. Do not rush past these words as if they are only another message passing across your eyes. I have drawn you into this moment with purpose. I have allowed your heart to pause here because there is a place within you that has been waiting for mercy, even if you did not know how to ask for it. This letter is not here to accuse you. It is not here to expose you with harshness, shame you for what still hurts, or frighten you into pretending that you are stronger than you are. I am not standing over you with anger. I am not searching your heart to find a reason to reject you. I am coming near as your father. I am coming near with tenderness. I am coming near to reach the part of you that has grown tired of saying, "I am fine," when deep within, something has been aching for a long time. I know what you learned to hide. I know what you buried because you had to keep going. I know the wound you covered with work, with silence, with humor, with distance, with helping others, with staying busy, with being useful, with being the one who did not ask for much. I know the words you never said aloud because you thought no one would understand them. I know the memories you folded away because touching them felt too dangerous. I know the questions you carried quietly, the grief you minimized, the disappointment you called nothing, and the loneliness you tried to outgrow. My beloved child, I am healing what you never said aloud. Not because you finally explained it perfectly, not because you have become strong enough to face it alone, not because you have earned this attention, but because I love you too deeply to leave you wounded in secret. You may have believed that if no one saw it, it did not matter. You may have believed that if you stopped speaking of it, it would stop shaping you. But I saw it. I saw when it happened. I saw what it took from you. I saw what you decided about yourself afterward. And I saw how much of your life you spent trying to live around a pain I always intended to touch. Do not be afraid of this moment. Mercy has brought you here. You did not arrive by accident. This is not a random pause in your day. This is not just a voice in the background. This is an invitation from the one who sees. Beneath the surface, beneath the smile, beneath the responsibilities, beneath the spiritual phrases, beneath the places where you have tried to be brave. I am drawing close because there is a wound I refuse to leave untouched, a hidden room I refuse to abandon, a tender place in you that I do not despise. So breathe again, let your shoulders lower, let your heart know that it does not have to perform for me. You do not have to fix yourself before you listen. You do not have to make your pain sound acceptable. You do not have to hide the part of you that still trembles. I am not asking you to bring me a polished heart. I am asking you to bring me the true one. And before we go deeper, if this letter is already speaking to a hidden place inside you, let your response be simple, like this video, as a quiet sign that mercy is reaching you. Subscribe for more prayerful messages of healing, so your heart can keep returning to truth when the world becomes loud. And if you are ready, write in the comments, "Father, heal what I hid." Let those words become a small act of surrender before the main part of this letter begins. Not for display, not for attention, but as a whisper from your heart to mine. My beloved child, this is not a warning of punishment. This is a tender invitation into hidden healing. Come close now, I am already near. My beloved child, I saw the pain you learned to hide. I saw the moment your face became calm while something inside you was breaking. I saw the times you smiled because it was easier than explaining why your heart felt heavy. I saw the way you answered, "I am okay," when the truth was that you felt forgotten, unseen, and quietly abandoned. I saw how you kept moving through the day, kept answering messages, kept finishing tasks, kept showing up for people, while an old grief sat inside you like a stone no one else knew you were carrying. I saw the tears you wiped away quickly before anyone could ask too many questions. I saw the bathroom doors you closed, the pillows that caught what your voice could not release, the quiet rides where you stared ahead and tried not to fall apart. I saw the prayers you whispered without strength, the prayers that were only a sigh, the prayers that sounded like silence because you no longer had language for the ache. I saw the nights when you turned away from a memory before it could fully rise. I saw the way certain names, certain places, certain dates, certain songs, certain tones of voice still touched something tender in you, though you told yourself it was nothing. My beloved child, hidden pain is not invisible to me. It may have been invisible to your family. It may have been overlooked by your friends. It may have gone unnoticed in church because you knew how to worship with tears behind your eyes and still look composed. It may have been hidden from co-workers who only saw that you were capable, steady, useful, dependable. It may have been missed by the people who expected you to be strong. The people who came to you for comfort but never asked who comforted you. The people who assumed that because you kept functioning, you must not have been hurting deeply. But I saw what people missed. I saw what they misunderstood. I saw what they were, too distracted, too limited, or too wounded themselves to recognize. I know the wound of betrayal, when someone you trusted made your heart question whether safety was real. I know the sting of rejection, when you tried to belong and came away feeling like there was something wrong with you. I know the disappointment that settled into you when hope rose and was met with silence. I know the childhood pain you did not have the words to name when you were young. The pain you carried before you knew how deeply it would shape your view of love. I know the grief you learned to manage in public, the failure that made you afraid to try again, the shame that followed you like a shadow, the fear that made you guarded, the loneliness that surrounded you even when people were near. I know the exhaustion of always being the dependable one. I know what it cost you to be the one who stayed calm, the one who made peace, the one who remembered, the one who handled it, the one who did not need much, the one who could be counted on. I know how tired your soul became from holding yourself together so no one else would be inconvenienced by your pain. I know how often you told yourself, just keep going, when what you needed was someone to say, you can rest now, you are allowed to be held. Do not think I was absent because others did not notice. Do not think I was silent because the room stayed loud around you. Do not think I turned away because you stopped telling people the truth. I was there in the hidden places. I was near when your heart learned to protect itself. I was near when you decided not to expect too much. I was near when you became careful with your needs, careful with your voice, careful with your hope. I was near when you learned to shrink the pain into something small enough to survive the day. And I am not angry that you hid the wound. Hear me clearly, my beloved child. I am not angry that you hid the wound. I understand what fear taught you to conceal. I understand what survival required of you. I understand how repeated disappointment trained you to stop reaching, stop explaining, stop believing that someone would handle your heart gently. I know why you covered it. I know why you laughed when you wanted to cry. I know why you changed the subject. I know why you became busy. I know why you became strong in ways that looked impressive to others but felt lonely inside you. You did not hide from me successfully, but you also did not drive me away. Your hidden wound did not make me withdraw my love. Your guarded heart did not confuse me. Your silence did not offend me. Your inability to explain everything did not prevent me from understanding everything. Before you could name the pain, I knew its roots. Before you could trace the memory, I knew where it began. Before you could admit how much it changed you, I had already been moving toward you with mercy. So let this truth settle gently inside you. The wound may have been hidden from people, but it was never hidden from me. Not one tear was wasted, not one ache was ignored, not one quiet breaking was unseen. I saw you then, I see you now, and I am not looking at you with disappointment. I am looking at you with love. I am coming closer to the place you thought no one could reach, and I am calling it by its true name, not because I want to shame you, but because I am ready to heal you. My beloved child, now that you know I saw it, let me remove the shame that tried to rise with being seen. When hidden pain is touched, the heart often becomes afraid. It wonders, will I be judged now? Will I be told I should be over this by now? Will I be asked why I am still tender, still guarded, still affected, still unable to speak without trembling? But I am not bringing your wound into the light so I can accuse you. I am bringing it into the light so I can heal it with mercy. I am not asking you to perform strength for me. I am not asking you to sound spiritual before you come close. I am not asking you to be composed, healed, grateful, peaceful, and full of answers before you let me touch what hurts. You do not have to explain everything perfectly. You do not have to arrange your pain into sentences that make sense to everyone. You do not have to solve your whole life tonight. You do not have to defend your tears. You do not have to prove that what happened was painful enough to matter. You do not have to make your wound look acceptable before you bring it to me. You do not have to soften the truth so it will seem easier to carry. You do not have to pretend that something small happened when something in you was deeply shaken. You do not have to call it nothing in order to be brave. I know people may have rushed you. I know some may have told you to move on before they ever sat with you in the ache. I know some may have minimized what formed inside you because they only saw the outside of your life. I know some may have demanded answers from you when you were still trying to understand your own heart. I know some may have made you feel dramatic for grieving, weak for needing time, unspiritual for still having questions, or ungrateful because pain and blessing were both present in the same life. But I do not come with rough hands. I do not enter the tender places in you with impatience. I do not tear open what needs to be unwrapped slowly. I do not call your trembling a failure. Hear me gently, my beloved child. Honesty brought to me is not rebellion. A wounded question placed in my hands is not the same as walking away from me. A trembling truth whispered toward me can be the beginning of trust. You can tell me that you are tired. You can tell me that you are confused. You can tell me that you do not know why it still hurts. You can tell me that part of you wants to believe, and part of you is afraid to hope again. I am not offended by honesty. I am not threatened by your weakness. I am not searching for polished prayers. I am listening for the real voice of my child. Do not hide behind the language you think I want to hear. Do not cover the wound with phrases that keep you distant from me. If you are hurting, come hurting. If you are angry, come with the anger, and let me hold what is underneath it. If you are numb, come numb. If you are afraid, come afraid. If all you can say is, Father, I do not know how to bring this to you, then bring me that sentence. Bring me the unfinished prayer. Bring me the quiet tear. Bring me the place where your faith feels small and your heart feels tired. I am not asking for a performance of strength. I am asking for honest surrender. And I want you to understand the kind of healing I am doing. I am not decorating a wounded heart and calling it restored. I am not placing beautiful words over deep pain while the roots remain untouched. I am not teaching you to smile more convincingly while the hidden room inside you stays locked. My mercy does not merely polish the surface. My love does not only soothe you for a moment and leave the same fear ruling beneath. I am entering the roots beneath the surface. I am going to the places where the wound taught you to expect rejection, where disappointment trained you to stay guarded, where shame taught you to apologize for existing, where fear taught you to control what only I can carry. This is why I am moving slowly. This is why I am speaking tenderly. This is why I keep calling you close instead of pushing you forward. The heart does not become whole by pretending it was never broken. The heart becomes whole when it is held by the one who can touch every fracture without despising it. Let me hold what you have been trying to manage. Let me see what you have been trying to explain away. Let me enter the place where you stopped expecting comfort. Let me be gentle where others were careless. Let me be patient where others were hurried. Let me be near where you learned to feel alone. My beloved child, you are allowed to be honest with me and still be loved. You are allowed to be healing and still belong. You are allowed to have tears and still have faith. You are allowed to come close before you feel strong, so lay down the performance. Lay down the need to sound fine. Lay down the fear that your wound will make me turn away. I am not asking you to impress me with strength. I am inviting you to trust me with truth. And in the next place of this letter, I will ask you to bring me the room inside you that you locked, not because I want to force it open, but because I am ready to fill it with my presence. My beloved child, bring me the room inside you that you locked. Bring me the place you stopped visiting because every time you came near it, something in you trembled. Bring me the room where old pain has been kept behind a door, where unanswered questions sit in the corners, where unspoken names still echo, where memories you tried to forget remain covered but not healed. I know you have learned how to walk past that door in your daily life. I know you have learned how to keep smiling, keep answering, keep working, keep caring for others, while a part of you quietly says, do not go in there, do not touch that, do not remember. But I am standing near that locked place now, not as an intruder, not as one who will force the door open, but as the one who loves you enough to wait for your trust. I will not break down what fear built for survival. I will not shame you for needing walls when you did not know how else to stay standing. I will not mock the locks you placed there when pain felt too dangerous to carry in the open. I understand why you closed the door. I understand why you put away the memory, the name, the sentence, the disappointment, the moment that changed the way you saw yourself. But, my beloved child, what remains locked away cannot be healed by being ignored forever. What stays hidden from your surrender can continue speaking in ways you do not always recognize. So give me the key. Not because I want to expose you, but because I want to enter with mercy. Give me the key to the exact memory you keep editing before you bring it to prayer. Give me the key to the exact disappointment you keep calling small because you are afraid to admit how deeply it wounded you. Give me the key to the exact fear that rises when someone gets too close, when someone is silent too long, when someone's tone sounds like a past you tried to bury. Give me the key to the exact sentence someone spoke that still echoes inside you, the words that made you feel unwanted, foolish, abandoned, replaceable, too much, not enough. Do not change the sentence before you give it to me. Do not make it softer. Do not make it more spiritual. Do not remove the ache from it so you can feel safer bringing it into my presence. Let me enter. Let me enter the room where you stopped crying because no one came. Let me enter the room where you decided not to need so much. Let me enter the room where you learned to expect rejection before it happened. Let me enter the room where shame sat down and began calling you by a name I never gave you. Let me enter the room where you placed the pieces of yourself you thought were too broken to be loved. I am not afraid of that room. I am not overwhelmed by what is inside it. I am not surprised by the dust, the silence, the grief, the questions, the anger, the confusion, or the tender places you still do not know how to name. Do not clean the room before I come. Do not try to make it holy before you let me stand there. Do not sweep the pain into a corner and present me with only the parts you think are acceptable. Do not hide the broken pieces from the one who knows how to restore them. I am not asking you to prepare a beautiful place for me. I am asking you to let me meet you in the true place. I am not waiting outside until you become calm. I am not refusing to enter until your faith feels strong. I am not asking you to explain why the wound still matters. I already know. I already saw. I already understand the roots beneath what you can say. Surrender is not denial. Hear me clearly, my beloved child. Surrender is not pretending the wound was small. Surrender is not saying it did not hurt, did not matter, did not shape you, did not cost you anything. Surrender is bringing the truth into my hands and letting my love become greater than the wound's authority. Healing does not erase the fact that you were hurt. Healing breaks the power of the hurt to name you, lead you, silence you, and keep you afraid. Healing does not require you to call darkness light. Healing means allowing my light to enter the darkness until the darkness no longer rules the room. And the first step may be very small. I am not asking you to open every door in one moment. I am not asking you to understand every layer tonight. I am not asking you to feel brave. Begin with one breath. End quote. Begin with one whispered prayer. Begin with one honest sentence. Say, Father, this still hurts. Say, Father, I have been afraid to bring this to you. Say, Father, I do not know how to open this room, but I want you near it. Even that small sentence matters to me. Even that little turning is precious. Even one moment of not running from what hurts can become the beginning of healing. My beloved child, I am already near the locked place. I have been near it longer than you know. I was there when the wound began, and I am here now as the healer who will not abandon what he touches. Bring me the room inside you that you locked. Give me the key, even if your hand is shaking. Let me enter, not with harshness, but with mercy. Healing begins when the hidden place is finally brought into my presence, and I am ready to fill what pain has occupied for too long. My beloved child, remember Hagar. Remember the woman who found herself wounded, displaced, misunderstood, and alone in a wilderness she did not choose. Remember the one who had been handled by other people's decisions, pressed into another person's story, burdened by conflict she could not control, and then sent into a dry place with grief in her hands and uncertainty ahead of her. To some eyes, she may have looked like a problem to be moved away, an inconvenience to be dismissed, a voice too painful to keep near, but to me, she was not an inconvenience. She was not forgotten. She was not invisible in the wilderness. I saw her. And I want you to hear this slowly. I saw Hagar where others stopped looking. I saw her where others may have only seen tension, weakness, trouble, silence, or distance. I saw the fear beneath her steps. I saw the questions she did not know how to ask. I saw the way rejection and survival stood beside her in that lonely place. I saw the wound that had followed her out into the wilderness. I saw the exhaustion in her body, the ache in her heart, the uncertainty of her future, the loneliness of being in a place where no one seemed to be coming after her with tenderness. My beloved child, the wilderness did not mean she was abandoned. The wilderness did not mean I had turned my face away. The wilderness did not mean her story had fallen out of my hands. Sometimes the place where a soul feels most forgotten becomes the place where I speak most personally. Sometimes the dry ground becomes holy ground because I meet my child there. Sometimes the place where no one else knows how to find you becomes the place where you learn that I have never needed directions to reach you. I found Hagar in the wilderness, and I revealed myself to her as the God who sees. Do not read her story as something far away from your own heart. Let it become a mirror. There have been places inside you that felt like wilderness too. Places where you felt sent away emotionally, left alone with what others did not want to face. Places where you carried more than anyone understood. Places where you kept walking because stopping felt dangerous, but walking did not feel hopeful either. Places where you wondered if anyone truly knew what it cost you to survive. Places where your soul asked quietly, "Does anyone see me here? Does anyone know what happened to me? Does anyone understand why I am tired in ways sleep cannot fix?" I see you there. I see the hidden exhaustion you cover with responsibility. I see the private questions you only let rise when the room is quiet. I see the survival scars that do not always look like wounds to other people because you learned how to function with them. I see the way you learned to become careful, guarded, watchful, prepared. I see how old pain trained you to expect disappointment before it arrived. I see how rejection made you rehearse being unwanted. I see how loneliness taught you to need less out loud. I see how many times you carried your own heart through places where you wished someone would simply notice and say, "You should not have had to carry this alone." My beloved child, I am saying that to you now. You should not have had to carry it alone. And even when people failed to see you, I did not fail. Even when they misunderstood your silence, I understood it. Even when they judged your distance, I knew the fear behind it. Even when they called you difficult, sensitive, cold, needy, dramatic, weak, or too much, I saw the wound beneath the behavior. I do not look at you as people look. I do not stop at the surface. I do not measure you by the moment you broke down, shut down, pulled away, or tried to protect yourself. I see the story beneath the reaction. I see the child beneath the armor. I see the ache beneath the strength. The God who saw Hagar sees you now, not generally, not vaguely, not from a distance, but personally. I see the exact places where your hope became tired. I see the exact memories that still make your chest tighten. I see the exact prayers you stopped praying because disappointment made them feel dangerous. I see the exact part of you that wants to believe I am near, but still fears being left again. I see you in the wilderness of unanswered questions. I see you in the wilderness of family wounds. I see you in the wilderness of grief that others think should be over. I see you in the wilderness of waiting, uncertainty, quiet shame, and hidden loneliness. And because I see you, I can speak to you there. I do not need you to find your way out before I come near. I do not need you to become less weary before I call your name. I do not need you to explain the map of your pain before I enter the place where you feel lost. I am the God who finds the wounded in wilderness places. I am the God who meets the overlooked by the spring. I am the God who speaks promise, where survival has become the only plan. I am the God who can turn the loneliest place into a place of revelation. So do not despise the moment when you finally admit, "I feel unseen." Do not cover that sentence with shame. Bring it to me. Let me answer it with my presence. Let me remind you that being unseen by people is not the same as being unseen by me. Let me show you that your hidden wound has never been hidden from my mercy. Let me meet you in the emotional place you stopped expecting anyone to reach. If I found Hagar in the wilderness, I can find you here. If I spoke to her where she felt displaced and afraid, I can speak to you in the place where your heart has grown tired. If I saw her tears, her fear, her future, and her name, I see yours too. My beloved child, the God who sees the wounded in the wilderness is seeing you now, and my seeing is not passive. My seeing is mercy, moving toward you. My seeing is love, calling your name. My seeing is the beginning of hope. My beloved child, now that you know I see you in the wilderness, let me show you what I am doing beneath the surface. I am not only calming the emotion you feel today, I am not only quieting the tears that rose tonight. I am not only giving you enough peace to make it through one more hour. I am doing something deeper than momentary comfort. I am going beneath what can be seen. I am reaching into the roots. I am healing what you hid. I am changing you from within. You have looked at some of your reactions and called them weakness. You have looked at the way you withdraw, the way you overthink, the way you brace for rejection, the way your heart becomes guarded when someone comes close, and you have wondered, why am I still like this? You have felt ashamed when a small moment touched a deep place, when a tone of voice awakened old fear, when silence felt like abandonment, when correction felt like condemnation, when waiting felt like proof that you had been forgotten. But listen to me tenderly. Not every reaction is evidence of failure. Some reactions are signals. Some reactions are doors. Some reactions are roots beneath the soil asking to be healed. I do not look at the trembling in you and say, "Why are you still afraid?" I look at it and say, "Come closer, my child. There is a place here that still needs my love." I do not look at your guardedness and despise you. I look beneath it and see the memory that taught you protection was necessary. I do not look at your striving and reject you. I look beneath it and see the ache that learned love had to be earned. I do not look at your distrust and turn away. I look beneath it and see the betrayal, the disappointment, the repeated breaking of promises that taught your heart to stay watchful. My beloved child, roots grow in hidden places. Some roots in you grew in darkness before you had language for pain. Some grew through rejection, when you reached for belonging and felt pushed away. Some grew through abandonment, when someone should have stayed tender and present but left you emotionally alone. Some grew through harsh words, words that entered like seeds of shame and kept speaking long after the mouth that said them went silent. Some grew through betrayal, when trust was broken and your heart learned to question whether closeness was safe. Some grew through repeated disappointment, when hope rose again and again, only to be met with silence, distance, or delay. And because those roots grew slowly, I am healing them patiently. Do not mistake my gentleness for absence. Do not mistake the slowness of deep healing for lack of movement. A garden is not restored by painting the leaves green. A wounded tree is not made whole by polishing the fruit. I am not decorating a wounded heart and calling it healed. I am not smoothing your face while fear still rules your inner rooms. I am not teaching you to sound peaceful while distrust continues to govern your choices. I am going where the roots are tangled. I am touching what shaped the reaction before the reaction ever appeared. I am healing what you hid. I am healing the place where you learned to apologize for needing comfort. I am healing the place where you learned to expect love to leave. I am healing the place where you believed you had to become useful, impressive, quiet, agreeable, successful, or endlessly strong in order to be kept. I am healing the place where shame wrapped itself around your identity and whispered that you were too damaged, too difficult, too late, too much, not enough. I am untangling those roots with mercy, not with force, not with hurry, not with rough hands, but with the patient love of the Father who knows how to restore what pain distorted. You may feel moments when the old fear rises again. Do not panic when that happens. Do not say, "Nothing has changed." Sometimes, healing reveals what is still tender so it can finally receive what it never received before. Sometimes a root comes into the light before it is removed. Sometimes the soil of the heart is stirred before new growth becomes visible. When you notice the same old fear, bring it to me. When you feel the same old urge to run, bring it to me. When you want to control, hide, prove, please, defend, or shut down, pause and bring me that moment. Let the reaction become an invitation, not a sentence against you. I am changing you from within. I am rebuilding trust where trust was fractured. I am softening fear where fear became a shield. I am teaching your heart that safety can exist again, that love can be steady, that presence can remain, that tenderness does not always disappear, that being known does not have to end in rejection. I am teaching you to breathe where you used to brace. I am teaching you to receive where you used to earn. I am teaching you to speak where you used to disappear. I am teaching you to rest where you used to carry everything alone. My beloved child, this is why the process may feel slow. I am restoring more than the visible surface. I am not merely removing a painful emotion. I am healing the belief beneath it. I am not merely stopping a tear. I am touching the wound that taught the tear to hide. I am not merely giving you a peaceful night. I am forming a steadier place within you where peace can dwell. I am not merely helping you survive another day. I am restoring the roots of how you see yourself, how you receive love, how you trust my nearness, and how you walk through the world without letting old wounds lead you. So let me work deeply. Let me go beneath the leaves, beneath the branches, beneath the visible fruit, beneath the habits everyone else can see. Let me reach the hidden roots. Let me loosen what fear tied tightly. Let me pull out what shame planted. Let me water what disappointment dried. Let me revive what betrayal crushed. Let me tend the garden of your heart until places that once held pain begin to hold life again. I am healing what you hid. I am changing you from within. And one day, you will notice that the same place that once reacted with fear now pauses with trust. The same heart that once expected abandonment now begins to recognize my presence. The same soul that once lived guarded and tired now becomes quieter, softer, steadier, alive, not because you forced yourself to be different, but because I restored the roots beneath you. I am not merely soothing pain for a moment. I am making you whole where the wound began. My beloved child, now that I am healing the roots, let me speak to the name you have been carrying. Let me speak to the part of you that quietly believed the wound was proof of your worth. Somewhere inside the pain, you may have made an agreement without realizing it. You may have believed that if they left, you must have been easy to leave. If they neglected you, you must have been unworthy of attention. If they betrayed you, you must have been foolish for trusting. If they did not protect you, you must not have been worth protecting. If they did not cherish you, you must have been hard to love. But hear me with the deepest place in you. Your worth was never in what they failed to give you. Your worth was never in their recognition, their protection, their tenderness, their faithfulness, their apology, their affection, or their ability to see you clearly. What they failed to recognize did not make you invisible. What they failed to protect did not make you disposable. What they failed to honor did not make you common. What they failed to cherish did not make you unlovely. Their failure may have wounded your story, but it did not define your identity. You are not the rejection. You are not the silence that followed your reaching. You are not the person who walked away. You are not the betrayal that broke your trust. You are not the words that were spoken over you in anger, impatience, cruelty, or ignorance. You are not the season that shattered your confidence. You are not the moment you fell apart. You are not the years you spent trying to understand why love felt unsafe. You are not the wound. You are my beloved child. Let that truth move slowly through you. You are my beloved child before you are healed enough to explain your story. You are my beloved child before you are strong enough to speak without trembling. You are my beloved child before you are useful to anyone, impressive to anyone, understood by anyone, or praised by anyone. I did not begin loving you when you became easy to celebrate. I did not begin calling you precious when you learned how to perform peace. I loved you before you knew how to hide pain. I loved you before you learned to earn approval. I loved you before anyone clapped, before anyone noticed, before anyone named your gifts, before anyone understood the battle inside you. Do not measure your value by the hands that mishandled you. Do not measure your beauty by the eyes that could not see you. Do not measure your belonging by the people who did not know how to stay. Do not measure your future by the season that broke your heart. I am the one who names you. I am the one who formed you. I am the one who saw you before any human voice had the chance to speak over you, and my voice is older than their rejection. My love is deeper than their absence. My truth is stronger than the sentence shame wrote across your heart. My beloved child, the wound may explain part of your story, but it does not name who you are. It may explain why you flinch when love comes close. It may explain why trust feels slow. It may explain why silence can feel dangerous, why correction can feel like rejection, why waiting can awaken fear, why kindness can feel hard to receive. But explanation is not identity. The wound can tell you where healing is needed, but it cannot tell you who you are. Pain may point to a place I am touching, but pain does not have authority to rename my child. I am taking back the name shame stole from you. I am taking back the name rejection tried to write. I am taking back the name abandonment whispered in the dark. I am taking back the name betrayal carved into your memory. You are not unwanted. You are not too much. You are not enough. You are not damaged beyond love. You are not late to healing. You are not disqualified by tenderness. You are not weak because something hurt you deeply. You are seen. You are chosen. You are held. You are loved. You are still mine. And I am teaching you to live from being loved, not toward being loved. You do not have to become impressive before I call you precious. You do not have to become emotionally perfect before I come near. You do not have to finish healing before you belong. You do not have to make yourself smaller, quieter, easier, harder, stronger, or more useful to secure my affection. My love is not a wage. My love is not a reward for performance. My love is the place where your true identity begins. So let the hidden wound lose its throne. Let it lose its authority to define your name. Let it become a place I am healing, not the voice you obey. Let it become a chapter I am redeeming, not the title of your life. Let it become soil where compassion will grow, not a prison where shame keeps you locked. I am not denying that it hurt. I am declaring that it is not Lord over you. I am not pretending it did not shape parts of your journey. I am telling you that my love is reshaping you more deeply still. My beloved child, receive the name I have always spoken over you. Beloved, seen, chosen, held, redeemed, mine. Let those words rest where old words used to ache. Let them enter slowly, like water reaching dry ground. Let them remain when the old memories try to speak again. Your worth was never in what they failed to give you. Your identity was never in what they failed to see. You are not what happened to you. You are not who left you. You are not what was withheld from you. You are my child, and I am restoring you from the inside out. My beloved child, do not rush the places where I am gentle. Do not look at the tender parts of your heart and demand that they heal on a schedule fear created. Do not stand over your own soul with impatience, asking why you are still hurting, why the memory still rises, why certain words still touch old places, why some days feel steadier and other days feel fragile again. I know the questions that come when healing feels slower than you expected. I know how you wonder if you should be farther by now, stronger by now, freer by now, less affected by now. I know how quietly you accuse yourself when the wound still aches. But I am not accusing you. I am not standing over you with disappointment because you need time. I am not saying, why are you not finished with this? I am not ashamed of the slow places in you. I am not offended by the tender places in you. I am not measuring your healing by how quickly you can speak about the wound without tears, how quickly you can return to trust without trembling, or how quickly you can move through a memory without feeling its weight. My beloved child, slow healing is not failed healing when I am working deeply and gently. There are wounds that do not heal by being hurried. There are places in the heart that open like soil after a long drought, not all at once, but little by little, as living water enters dry ground. I do not force fruit from a bruised branch. I do not command roots to become whole in one night. I do not tear open what I am teaching to trust. I heal with patience because love is patient. I heal with tenderness because your heart has known enough roughness. I heal quietly because not every holy work needs to be seen by a crowd. Not quickly for applause, not loudly for display, not forcefully for appearance, but patiently, deeply, quietly, and completely. Not so others can say you look healed, but so you can become whole where no one else can see. Not so you can perform peace while fear still rules beneath the surface, but so peace can begin to dwell in the rooms that used to echo with pain. Not so you can tell a polished story before your heart is ready, but so your life can become steady in my hands. I am not decorating the outside while the inside still trembles. I am restoring you from within. Do not despise the small signs of my work. Do not overlook the quiet mercies because they do not look like dramatic breakthrough. Sometimes healing looks like a calmer response where you once would have broken down. Sometimes healing looks like sleeping through the night when anxiety used to keep watch beside you. Sometimes healing looks like one less fearful thought, one softer breath, one honest prayer that comes without pressure. Sometimes healing looks like hearing a name, remembering a place, or passing through a familiar season and realizing the memory no longer controls the whole day. Sometimes healing is the pause before you react. Sometimes healing is the courage to say, "This hurts," without calling yourself weak. Sometimes healing is letting someone love you a little more than you are used to. Sometimes healing is not explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Sometimes healing is choosing rest without guilt. Sometimes healing is noticing that the old voice of shame is speaking, but you no longer believe it as quickly as you once did. These are not small to me. These are signs of life returning. My beloved child, begin to notice my gentleness in ordinary moments. I am with you in the kitchen, in the car, in the quiet room, in the morning light, in the night when your thoughts are loud. I am with you when you take a breath before answering. I am with you when you whisper, "Father, help me," and the prayer feels simple but true. I am with you when you choose not to punish yourself for having a tender day. I am with you when you remember and do not run. I am with you when you feel tired, but still let my love come near. Do not measure healing only by the moment when everything suddenly feels different. I do bring breakthroughs, but I also bring bread for the day. I also bring mercy in portions your heart can receive. I also bring light like dawn, slowly spreading across the places that were dark. You may want the whole room bright at once, but I know how to lead your eyes gently into light. You may want the wound gone immediately, but I know how to remove its power layer by layer without crushing the tender life I am restoring. So be patient with the places where I am patient. Be gentle with the places where I am gentle. Do not call yourself behind because I am taking time with you. Do not call yourself broken beyond repair because the process is quiet. Do not call my hidden work absence. I am moving even when you cannot measure it. I am healing even when you cannot explain it. I am restoring even when the evidence is small. A seed under soil does not look like a garden, but life is still working there. My beloved child, trust me with the pace. Let me teach you to receive small mercies as proof that I have not stopped working. Let the peaceful night matter. Let the calmer breath matter. Let the softer thought matter. Let the prayer without pressure matter. Let the memory that no longer rules your whole day matter. These are not accidents. These are my fingerprints on the places that used to ache. Slow healing is not failed healing. It is often the way my love enters deeply, stays faithfully, and restores completely. My beloved child, now that I have asked you to trust me with the pace, I am asking you to trust me with the weight. There is a burden you have carried for so long that it may feel like part of your identity. It is the burden of managing every outcome, protecting every relationship, preventing every future pain, and trying to make sure nothing ever reaches the wound again. You learn to watch closely. You learn to think ahead. You learn to read silence, measure tones, prepare answers, soften your needs, control your reactions, and hold your breath in places where you long to rest. But I did not create you to live beneath the crushing weight of being your own savior. Listen to me gently. The hidden wound often teaches the heart to believe. If I do not hold everything together, everything will fall apart. It teaches you to rehearse conversations that have not happened. It teaches you to imagine losses before they arrive. It teaches you to carry people's moods, people's choices, people's opinions, people's distance, as if their stability depends on your constant watchfulness. It teaches you to scan for danger even in places where love is being offered. It teaches you to confuse control with safety, but control is a heavy shelter, my child, and it cannot give you the rest your soul needs. Stop carrying what I asked you to release. Stop rehearsing what cannot be changed. Stop returning again and again to the scene of pain, as if punishing yourself will finally produce healing. Stop trying to heal yourself by accusing yourself. Stop believing that if you think about it long enough, regret it deeply enough, explain it perfectly enough, or guard yourself carefully enough, you can become untouchable by sorrow. You are not called to become untouchable. You are called to become held. You are not called to be your own refuge. I am your refuge. You are not called to be your own redeemer. I am your redeemer. My beloved child, release does not mean you stop caring. Release does not mean you become careless, passive, distant, or cold. Release means you stop placing a divine burden on human strength. Release means you bring me what your hands were never meant to hold alone. Release means you can love deeply without becoming the savior of the people you love. Release means you can be responsible without living crushed beneath control. Release means you can show up with wisdom, tenderness, honesty, and obedience, while trusting me with what only I can govern. There are outcomes you cannot force. There are hearts you cannot heal. There are apologies you cannot make someone give. There are doors you cannot open by exhausting yourself against them. There are old moments you cannot rewrite, no matter how many times you replay them in the night. There are futures you cannot secure by fear. There are relationships you cannot protect by abandoning your own soul. Bring those things to me. Bring me the names, the memories, the unanswered questions, the unfinished conversations, the things you wish had been different, the things you fear may happen again. Bring me what has been too heavy to name. And when you do not know how to release it, begin with these simple words. Father, I give this to you. Hold what I cannot hold. Heal what I cannot reach. Say it slowly, not as a performance, not as a formula, not as a way to prove you are spiritual enough, but as a small opening in the clenched place of your heart. Father, I give this to you. Hold what I cannot hold. Heal what I cannot reach. Let those words become a doorway. Let them become a breath. Let them become the moment when your hands begin to loosen around what has been breaking you. I know that letting go can feel frightening when holding on once felt necessary. I know that surrender may feel like danger to the part of you that survived by staying alert. I know that rest may feel unfamiliar when your nervous heart learned to call vigilance wisdom. But I am not asking you to drop your life into emptiness. I am asking you to place it in my hands. I am not asking you to pretend nothing matters. I am asking you to trust that everything that matters is safer with me than it is beneath your exhaustion. My beloved child, you can rest without abandoning your responsibility. You can stop controlling without becoming unfaithful. You can care without carrying what belongs to me. You can pray without obsessing. You can love without clinging. You can forgive without denying the wound. You can set boundaries without hatred. You can wait without rehearsing disaster. You can be tender without being ruled by fear. This is the rest I am teaching you. Not escape, but trust. Not numbness, but surrender. Not indifference, but peace beneath my covering. The wound begins to loosen when you stop trying to carry what only I can hold. The knot begins to soften when you stop pulling at it with panic and let my mercy touch it with patience. The old fear begins to lose authority when you no longer obey every urgent thought that tells you to fix, manage, prevent, prove, or protect. Take a breath. Let your shoulders lower. Let your hands open, even if only in your heart. You do not have to solve your whole life tonight. You do not have to secure every tomorrow. You do not have to become strong enough to hold what was always meant to be surrendered. Give it to me again. Give me the burden of being understood by everyone. Give me the burden of preventing every disappointment. Give me the burden of never making a mistake. Give me the burden of keeping everyone close by becoming whatever they need. Give me the burden of saving yourself from pain through control. I am able to hold what overwhelms you. I am able to heal what you cannot reach. I am able to guard what fear cannot protect. Rest here, my beloved child. Release what has been crushing you. Let me be God in the place where you have been so tired from trying to be strong. My beloved child, as you release the weight into my hands, let me speak hope over the place you thought would only ever ache. I do not waste pain, but I also do not romanticize it. I will not call what hurt you beautiful simply because I can redeem it. I will not pretend the wound was small. I will not ask you to be thankful for the breaking as though the breaking itself was my heart for you. I am the Father who heals, not the one who mocks your tears with shallow explanations. I am the Redeemer who enters what was damaged, touches what was hidden, and gives your story a new ending without denying the sorrow that came before. The hidden wound will not have the final word. The silence will not have the final word. The abandonment will not have the final word. The betrayal, the shame, the fear, the years of trying to be strong while something inside you trembled, these will not have the final word. My love will speak louder. My nearness will speak louder. My restoration will speak louder. I am not only bringing you out of pain, I am teaching the place of pain to carry light, quiet light, steady light. Not a loud performance, not a polished display, not a demand that you turn your suffering into something impressive for others to applaud. A living witness that mercy can reach the places people thought were too damaged. My beloved child, one day you will notice the change in simple ways. Your breath will become steadier in moments that used to make you brace. Your heart will become softer without becoming unsafe. Your identity will become clearer, not because everyone finally understands you, but because you are learning to hear my voice above the old names. Hope will begin to return, not as noise, not as denial, but as a small flame that keeps burning even when the room is quiet. You will not be as afraid of being seen, because you will know that I saw you first and did not turn away. And you will comfort others from a healthier place, not by losing yourself, not by bleeding into every person's pain until you forget your own boundaries, not by becoming the rescuer you were never called to be, but with compassion that has roots, with tenderness that has wisdom, with mercy that knows how to sit beside sorrow without trying to control it. The wound I heal in you will make you gentler, but not weaker. It will make you discerning, but not bitter. It will make you able to recognize pain in another face and say, with quiet truth, you are not alone. Because you have learned that I was with you in your own hidden room. Do not fear the testimony I am forming. Your story will not become a stage where pain is performed. It will become a lamp where mercy is seen. Some parts may remain between you and me, held in sacred privacy. Some parts may never need to be explained to people who cannot carry them tenderly. I do not expose you to heal you. I heal you so that shame no longer owns what was hidden. I heal you so that your silence is no longer fear, but peace. I heal you so that when you do speak, if I lead you to speak, your words come from wholeness and not from the need to prove that you survived. My beloved child, I can turn the hidden wound into quiet light. I can make the place that once whispered, "You are forgotten," become the place where you know, "I am seen." I can make the place that once said, "You are too broken," become the place where you know, "I am being restored." I can make the place that once taught you to hide, become the place where you learn to stand in, my love, without apology. Not because darkness was good, but because darkness did not win. Not because the wound was holy, but because my mercy is holy. Not because pain deserves the crown, but because I am Lord over your story. Let hope rise gently. Do not force it. Do not demand that hope arrive like thunder, when I am placing it in you like dawn. Let it come as a calmer breath, as a softer thought, as one moment when fear speaks and you do not bow as quickly. Let it come as peace in your chest, like a lamp I have lit within you. This lamp does not deny the dark places you walked through. It declares that the dark places could not extinguish my presence. It does not erase the tears. It tells the tears they are held. It does not pretend the wound never happened. It announces that the wound is no longer your master. Receive this quiet light, my beloved child. Receive peace, not as proof that nothing hurt, but as proof that I am healing what hurt. Receive hope, not as pressure to be finished, but as a sign that life is returning. Receive my nearness in the very place you once believed had to stay hidden forever. I am turning what shame buried into a testimony of mercy. I am turning what fear guarded into a place of trust. I am turning what pain named final into a chapter of restoration. And now, as this letter moves toward prayer, bring your heart close again. Do not prepare a perfect response. Do not gather impressive words. Come simply, come honestly. Come with the wound, the hope, the trembling, and the small lamp of peace I have placed within you. I will hold what you finally place in my hands. I will continue what I have begun. The hidden wound will not be the end of your story. My love is already writing a quieter, deeper, brighter ending. My beloved child, now come into this final prayer slowly. Do not rush past the place where your heart is still trembling. Do not try to make the wound sound smaller than it was. Do not explain it until it becomes acceptable. Do not defend why it hurt. Do not pretend you have already released what you are still learning to place in. My hands, come as you are. Come with the memory. Come with the silence. Come with the tired strength. Come with the tears you swallowed. Come with the words you never knew how to say. Let this prayer rise from the honest place in you. Father, I hear you. I receive your love. I give you the wound I hid. Heal what I could not speak. Restore what shame tried to bury. Hold what I was afraid to show. Touch what I could not fix. Enter the room I locked. Sit with me in the place I avoided. I do not want to hide from you anymore. I do not want shame to guard the door anymore. I do not want fear to decide how close I can come anymore. Father, I bring you the wound I hid, and I place it in your hands. Say it again, my beloved child, not because I did not hear, but because your own heart needs to hear surrender leaving your mouth. Father, I hear you. I receive your love. I give you the wound I hid. Heal what I could not speak. Restore what shame tried to bury. I give you this pain I minimized. I give you the grief I postponed. I give you the confusion I carried quietly. I give you the anger I was afraid to admit. I give you the fear that made me guard myself. I give you the old name shame tried to write over me. I give you the hidden room, the locked door, the buried memory, the ache beneath the smile. And now receive the truth I am speaking over you. I am seen. I am loved. I am not forgotten. My pain is not the end of my story. God is healing what I hid. Let those words settle gently. I am seen, even where people did not notice. I am loved, even where love failed me. I am not forgotten, even in the years when I felt alone. My pain is not the end of my story, even when it shaped more than I wanted it to shape. God is healing what I hid, not roughly, not impatiently, not with shame, but with mercy that stays. My beloved child, the letter ends here, but my healing does not end here. This prayer closes a moment, but it opens a deeper place of trust. You do not have to leave this moment perfectly whole in order to leave it truly held. You do not have to understand every route today. You do not have to know what tomorrow will feel like. You have brought me what you hid, and I am faithful with what is placed in my hands. I will continue in the night. I will continue in ordinary days. I will continue when old thoughts return and you whisper again, Father, hold what I cannot hold. Leave this moment carrying less fear. Leave it carrying less shame. Leave it carrying more trust, even if that trust feels small. Small trust in my hands is not small to me. A quiet yes is precious to me. A trembling surrender is still surrender. I have entered the hidden place with mercy. I have not turned away. I have not called you too much. I have not asked you to clean the room before I came in. I came because I love you. I stayed because you are mine. I will heal because I am faithful. So breathe, my beloved child. Let your shoulders lower. Let your hands open. Let the wound no longer be guarded by loneliness. Let the hidden place become a place where my presence rests. You are seen. You are loved. You are not forgotten. Your pain is not the end of your story. I am healing what you hid. And if this prayer has spoken to the hidden place in you, let your heart answer with these words. God is healing what I hid. Write them as an agreement with mercy. Let them be a quiet marker that shame does not own your story anymore. If you need prayer, leave your request below and let others stand with you gently, faithfully, and without judgment. Share this letter with someone who may be silently carrying pain, someone who needs to know they are seen and not forgotten. Like this video as a simple act of agreement with healing, and subscribe for more letters of comfort, restoration, and faith. Go in peace, my beloved child. Carry less fear, carry less shame, carry more trust. I am with you, and I am still healing what you finally placed in my hands.